Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're going to talk about some tips and strategies for Pokemon Go PvP tournaments that might be able to help you out a lot in the long run. We're going to be using my last Rainbow Cup practice battle against Pinkberry Dragon, just as a demonstration, and just Rainbow Cup practice. And the first thing you want to do in a tournament setting is look at your opponent's team versus yours. Take a look at your advantages first. So, first I noticed that my Venusaur can beat 4 of her team pretty well. It can take out Lantern, which is a bulky water type. You're gonna want to get rid of that as soon as possible. If they're able to get the switch out on you, and then you can't take out the Lantern, you're pretty much screwed. It can also take out Quagsire. It can also take out Blastoise pretty well, and then it can take out Blossom. Blossom is a pretty solid Razor Leaf user, but since it's not part poison, it can't really take a hit from Venusaur's Sludge Bomb. So that's going to be pretty useful to Sludge Bomb is pretty going to be pretty useful to take care of Blossom. And another thing I noticed is that my Quagsire, let's see, Quagsire can take care of Lantern pretty well. It can take care of Ninetales. Make sure you watch out for that Solar Beam. Some people are running Solar Beam on the Ninetales, and it's pretty solid. It took me by surprise one time in a match, and it just devastated me. So make sure you watch out for that Solar Beam. And then it can also take care of Fortress. Fortress is part Bug, so even though it's a Steel type, Stone Edge is neutral, and Earthquake can pretty much take it out almost in one hit. So that's a pretty solid pick there. And then Mantine. Mantine's a pretty solid pick too because Mantine can defeat Ninetales. Like I said, make sure you watch out for Solar Beam. Solar Beam is neutral to Mantine because Mantine's part water, but and it's also part flying. But Solar Beam can take out a huge chunk of health, so make sure you watch out for that. Other than that, Ninetales pretty much loses to Mantine in almost every matchup. It can also beat Fortress if you shield properly. Rock Tomb can take out a chunk of Mantine's health, so make sure you watch out for that. And it can take out Blossom as well. And like I said, Mantine is part water and part flying, so Razor Leaf is neutral. It can take out a lot of health from Mantine, so make sure that you get off those aerial aces, maybe even an Ice Beam if you can. And all I noticed is that 2 are weak to Charizard. Fortress is very weak to Charizard since it's double weak to fire, and it can take out Blossom as well. So that could be maybe a solid pick for this team, but other than that, it's really risky because Quagsire with Stone Edge can take out Charizard, Lantern can take out Charizard pretty well, and Blastoise with Water Gun and Hydro Cannon just completely wipes Charizard. So gotta watch out for that. And also, Ninetales can beat Charizard, or at least tie with it if you shield correctly. So make sure you're careful about that. And then Raichu isn't. Raichu is okay here. It can kind of beat Mantine and Blastoise, but other than that, Quagsire, Ninetales, Fortress, and Blossom can pretty much beat it. Since Blossom with Razor Leaf, since Raichu's kind of squishy, it can take it out. And Fortress, since it's Steel, Electric moves aren't really effective. But if you hit it with a Wild Charge, maybe a couple Thunder Punches, you might be able to do it. And Ninetales is pretty bulky, and it's not really easy to beat a Ninetales with a Raichu, which you could probably do it. But other than that, just be really careful. So, pretty solid picks for my team are Quagsire, Venusaur, and Mantine. But against my team, her Lantern can beat my Azumarill. It can also beat Mantine and Charizard. So I gotta watch out for that. And what else? What else? Yeah, her Quagsire can take out my Mantine if I'm not careful. Cause Stone Edge takes out a large chunk of Mantine's health, so watch out for that. But Mantine with a couple aerial aces, maybe an Ice Beam can take out a Quagsire as well. Depends on how you shield there. And then Quagsire can also take out Raichu because Quagsire's ground type. It's pretty useful to use in this cup in general, so watch out for a Raichu versus Quagsire matchup because you're just pretty much screwed. And then it can also take out Charizard with one single Stone Edge. And Blossom can beat 4 if I'm not careful. Blossom can beat Mantine if Mantine is low on health. And it can beat my Azumarill, it can beat my Quagsire, pretty much just delete it. And it can also beat Raichu because Raichu, like I said before, is squishy, so it can't really survive against a Razor Leafer. And it's only those 3 that I really have to worry about here. So My safest team right now is Quagsire, Mantine, and Venusaur, but I know that she's gonna have to use Blossom because it's her only grass type and it can beat four of my Pokemon. Um, Her Fortress and Ninetales are her only two lawnmowers, and both of mine can beat both of those. So it really doesn't matter which one I go with, but if I wanted to be safe, I'd probably just choose Mantine anyway. Um, and the last one would be Venusaur, obviously, because Venusaur can take out a majority of that team. Actually, for this battle, I chose to go with Venusaur and two of my lawnmowers, both Charizard and Mantine, because Venusaur, like I said before, Venusaur can beat Lantern. Crap, that's a bad arrow. Let me redraw that real quick. Can beat Lantern, Quagsire, Blossom, and Blastoise. So that's a lot of added coverage right there. So Venusaur is the obvious choice here. And then I went with Charizard because Charizard can pretty much beat Fortress, just farm it for energy. It can beat Blossom. And she'll need to use Blossom because Blossom is her only grass type, and it can take out four of mine, so it's going to be an obvious pick for her. And it can do some decent damage to any other after it farms for energy. If she switches in something that can resist Charizard, it'll be all right. And I went with Mantine as well because Mantine can take out Blossom. It can beat Ninetales if she has her Ninetales in there instead of her Fortress, and it can also be Fortress if she has it in there instead of her Ninetales. And then it can resist Blastoise's Hydro Cannon, and it takes kind of bad damage from Ice Beam, but it won't die to it miserably. And then I just gotta watch out for Quagsire and Lantern, which I have Venusaur for. So here's a battle.